Alright, hey, this is SLR Tom. So in this video here, I am just gonna quickly overview, highlight major differences in the body design between the Sony A7 Mark IV. Where does it even say Mark IV? It's like hidden. Oh, it's right here. Sony A7R Mark IV. It's a hell of a camera at 61 megapixels versus the Canon R5, EOS R5. Now, Canon just seems slightly bigger. Well, I guess part of it because it has that L bracket on here, that big L bracket. Let me take that off. If you're in the need for an L bracket, we have I'm actually affiliated with Pro Media Gear. We have a bracket for the grip or the body. All right, so I'm actually affiliated with Pro Media Gear. This is a nice L bracket. We have a cold shoe on top. You have a standard Arca mount here. Lets you quickly mount the camera on its side, and also have unrestricted LCD screen access and a quick access to the ports on the side. Pretty cool. Check it out at promediagear.com. All right, moving on. We can take this off really quick here by using this. All right, so you'll notice that the R5 seems a little bigger. Not only it's more like thicker than really taller and bigger. But let's take the lens off and look at major differences here. This lens is massive. So you'll notice that the diameter of the mount on a Sony, and this is where Sony made a mistake, is smaller than Canon or Nikon. Yeah, I don't know why I had to throw Nikon in here. Okay, I guess just because I have it. Anyway, moving on. All right, so, and also the shutter does not close when you take off the lens as it does in the R5. It's a huge advantage to the R5 because it prevents a lot of dust from hitting the sensor. And I could see already I have a lot of dust on the sensor, and I didn't really use that camera that much. Now, annoying feature on a Sony is this lens release. I do much prefer the lens release here, just like a Nikon and Canon have it. It's just easier to grab the camera like this, hold it with the camera, and switch the lens. This kind of tends to be annoying. All right, so, and then we have a lens depth of field preview button here. You don't have such button here, but you could program one of the other buttons on a Sony. Unless it's hidden somewhere else, I don't know. Let's put the lens back on so I don't attract too much dust. I don't know where the body caps are. What's nice about a Sony, the lens seems to fit really tight, which is pretty cool. You can even see where I'm attaching this. All right, so I should have grabbed a smaller lens for the Canon. Now let's I'll take off the grips so the camera can sit flat. We'll take this grip off too, so we can actually compare the body sizes now. Now look at that. It's a huge difference in body size. And then if you look at the grips, here we go. Much thinner. Okay, maybe it's a stall, but it's a much thinner camera, and it just seems cramped. This is really, I really like the Canon, how it feels and handles. And I do love the articulating LCD. This screen here only tilts up and down. And actually, let's try finger. Yeah. The LCD on the Canon is bigger as well. Let's try it like this. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. An actual display area on the Sony is smaller. I do much prefer the LCD on a Canon. All right. So you'll notice that's bigger as well. Viewfinder. Yeah, they're both kind of nice. Canon seems a little bit bigger, but let's maybe turn it on later. We'll see how the viewfinders compare. Okay. All right. So that's it for the bodies. Let's look at the top. So this side here is completely absent, devoid of any kind of function. Unlike the A9 has the mode dial here, which I like. Now, so we have a mode dial here. With Canon, we got this mode dial and we got to play with the menu a little bit. Takes a while of getting used to. Exposure compensation we have here, a dedicated wheel. That's kind of nice because you can easily see what you're set at. Sometimes with the Canon, I turn this wheel, which changes the exposure compensation, and I'm at +1 or -1, and I don't even know about it until I look at the pictures. We have some custom buttons. We can assign them to like ISO, white balance, or whatnot, aperture. We have some mode dial here and a front dial here. So these two are equivalent dials, and these would be equivalent dials. Now, record button on a Canon's right here. Sony's got it right here. Not a bad location, you can find it anyway. Back button, autofocus. Some sort of a joystick right here, similar to this one right here, so you can move your focus points or whatnot. Now, LCD screen, I think it is much more user-friendly when it comes to the menu on here. Let's talk about the grips before I put them on, so we could turn this on. Let's look at this here. So grip on the Sony seems taller. It is taller, doesn't seem taller. We got the battery access on the Sony's a little bit different. Got a nice, these are nice batteries, they hold a lot of power. And on the Canon, that's how we slide out. Now every Canon grip's a little bit different. The tray for batteries, it doesn't really matter. Both grips are extremely expensive in my opinion. What's nice about the Canon, shows you the charge status of the batteries right here. You also, Sony did a good job here. Relocated the joystick, the autofocus buttons, the dial buttons. What I don't like is that they moved this mount to the front, so that kind of puts the camera off balance. Actually, no, it's to the front, so it kind of makes it actually balance better. I apologize, I shouldn't have said that. Now, Canon's kind of towards the back. All right, so then we have some. Canon has a nice thing because it's got a location here for anti-rotation, the hole here. Then we have strap loops. We can turn on and off the grip, and some buttons here as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can program these to have some settings and whatnot. Now, so this here, when you put the grip on, this pushes out these contacts. So that's like your connector here, just a different thing. And in both you can store the battery right here. Notice I probably already lost the battery for the A7R Mark IV because it's not here and it's not here. So somebody did not put it back in. Now let me maybe go into the menu really quick so we can compare some settings there. I hope I have a charged battery. Sony's use of the menu here with the touchscreen is kind of limited. All right, so let's look here. We go display. Hold on. Display. You can select focus points. Okay. There's no card in the menu, in the camera. What mode we're in? Let's go to program mode. So I'm gonna hit the function. Can't change any other settings here. So use of the LCD actually on a Sony is much more limited. As on the Canon, you can select anything you want really quick. And the camera is super responsive. Okay, so here's info. Well, now it's just info here, but if you hit this quality button, you can actually change stuff here. See, that's pretty cool. White balance bracketing. Okay, we don't want that. Shift. So when it's yellow, it tells you that stuff is accessible. Okay, it's drive, high speed continuous plus. I guess that means without the shutter. Self timer, 10-second, remotes, How come I can't double click? Brighter, flash exposure compensation. Notice just how fast everything goes. So this little thing here, like the gear icon on the front, tells you this dial. This one tells you the back dial. See? And this can work as a back dial a lot of times too, but they really mean this one. Okay? So that's pretty cool. Well, notice how depending on the ISO, even the quantity of picture changes. As the lower the ISO means lower noise, so your JPEGs are actually smaller with less noise. The more noise you have, the fewer JPEGs you can shoot. Yeah, it's just how it is, because the algorithm for the storage of a JPEG has to work much harder and to store a lot of noise. Okay, not that it really matters. Talk about some ports on the side. So Sony kind of has flippy doors, not so much like rubber coverings, and it's really cramped here. Okay, so we got your flash sync, then we got your microphone, headphones, and a minuscule HDMI. I wonder if Canon beat you on the HDMI. No, you're both really crappy small HDMI ports. I mean, seriously. Canon, you should have done a full-size HDMI port. Anyway, then you have a multi-interface port, USB-C port, okay? And you can use those to charge the camera and whatnot. Oh, did we talk about the, well, I like that, how it turns on. Let's talk about the CF card. So this is nice. A lot of resistance to open. Same as here. And then we have just 2 SD slots, and then we have CF Express and SD card. I am surprised Sony did not make CF Express. I guess because they released the camera last year. This card is superb. I mean, it transfers at like 1.5 gigabits a second. Huge, so much faster, like 10 times faster than SD. So overall verdict, the body design of Canon R5 wins over Sony. Actually, there was some time that I got the Sony because Canon was not really updating their cameras fast enough. I got the original A7R, and I was impressed because it had 36 megapixels image stabilization, and it was just a really nice camera. I really enjoyed it. But now with the Canon R5, I am actually not looking back. I will go Canon all the way and actually sell my Sony bodies because I'm just much more invested into Canon, and the camera fits me a little better. Especially the R5, it offers so many quality settings for photo and video and then stuff I use every day. I'm not a shooter where I shoot video for hours on end, so this will be fine. There's not going to be a problem overheating. Now the A7R Mark IV, it would be a great landscape camera with 60 megapixels. Tends to get noisy with the higher ISOs. Not too bad. Yeah, it's just, it's really, the camera I haven't been using much recently. I am much more of a Canon guy than a Sony guy. So, alright, that's it for some quick and dirty comparison between two amazing cameras, but Canon's just a newer camera and it wins this time, okay? Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe, rate, and share. Let me know what you think.